In the bustling heart of London, nestled among the historic and opulent streets, lies Baker Street. Known globally for its association with Sherlock Holmes, the legendary detective, the street has always carried an air of mystery and intrigue. However, in the autumn of 1971, Baker Street became the scene of a real-life enigma, the most audacious bank heist in British history. Leonard Leo Farmer was not your typical criminal. Tall, with a sharp intellect, and an insatiable appetite for excitement, he spent years bouncing between legitimate work and the occasional petty crime. He had a knack for understanding the systems around him and a charm that could sell sand in the Sahara. But in the late 60s, disillusioned with the monotony of everyday life, Leo began dreaming of something far more lucrative and far more dangerous. The idea came to him one evening as he strolled down Baker Street. Passing by the Lloyds Bank, he couldn't help but marvel at its grandeur. The building, with its imposing stone facade and fortified windows, seemed impenetrable. It boasted about the security measures in place, but to Leo, these proclamations were not deterrents, they were challenges. Realizing the magnitude of the task ahead, Leo knew he couldn't do it alone. He needed a team as daring and skilled as he was. Over the next few weeks, he discreetly assembled a group of 4 men, each chosen for their unique skills and unwavering loyalty. First was Terry "Tegs" Perkins, a renowned burglar with a long history of successful break-ins. Tegs was a stocky man in his late 40s with a deep scar running across his cheek, a souvenir from a close encounter with the police years ago. Despite his rough appearance, he was meticulous and calculated, always thinking 3 steps ahead. Next, Leo approached Albert "Bertie" Badman, a former Royal Engineer who had turned to a life of crime after being dishonorably discharged from the army. Bertie was an explosives expert, and his knowledge of structural integrity and demolition would be crucial for breaching the bank's defenses. He had a quiet demeanor, preferring to let his actions speak for him. The third member of the team was Sammy "the Mole" Collins, a wiry, nimble man known for his expertise in tunneling. Sammy had once been part of a notorious gang of jewel thieves who used underground passages to reach their targets. His ability to navigate and excavate the city's underground labyrinths would be pivotal for their plan. Finally, Leo enlisted Michael "Mick" Daniels, a skilled locksmith and safecracker. Mick's expertise in bypassing security systems and cracking safes was unmatched. He was a man of few words, with a calm and steady hand, making him perfect for the nerve-wracking task of unlocking the bank's vault. The team gathered in a dimly lit basement beneath an old pub on the outskirts of London. Leo spread out a large map of Baker Street on a rickety table, marking the location of Lloyds Bank with a red circle. "Gentlemen," he began, "this is our target. The bank's vault contains millions in cash, jewelry, and safety deposit boxes. Getting in won't be easy, but it's not impossible. Here's the plan." Leo explained that the vault was located deep within the bank, heavily fortified and surrounded by layers of security. The main entrance was out of the question, as it was guarded by an array of alarm systems and reinforced doors. Instead, Leo proposed an ingenious alternative: tunneling in from below. "We'll rent a shop 2 buildings down from the bank," Leo explained. "From there, we'll dig a tunnel directly into the vault. It's risky, but it's our best shot. Sammy, you'll be in charge of the tunneling. Bertie, you'll handle any explosives we might need to break through the final barriers. Mick, once we're inside, it's your job to crack the safes. Tegs, you'll keep an eye on the streets and alert us if there's any sign of trouble." The team spent weeks meticulously planning every detail of the heist. They studied the bank's layout, researched the building's structural integrity, and scouted the surrounding area for potential obstacles or surveillance. They knew that even the smallest mistake could lead to their downfall, and they couldn't afford to take any chances. With the plan in place, the team set about gathering the necessary tools and equipment. They purchased a variety of specialized digging equipment, explosives, and safe cracking tools. To avoid suspicion, they acquired everything gradually and through different suppliers. Leo also ensured that they had a secure hideout where they could store their tools and plan their next moves. He rented a small warehouse on the outskirts of London, far enough from Baker Street to avoid attracting attention, but close enough to quickly return if needed. Meanwhile, Sammy began scouting the area around Lloyds Bank for a suitable location to start their tunnel. He eventually settled on a small, vacant leather goods store 2 buildings down from the bank. The store's basement provided the perfect cover for their operation, and its proximity to the bank would make tunneling relatively straightforward. Over the next few weeks, the team transformed the basement into a covert headquarters. They installed soundproofing to muffle the noise of their digging, set up a makeshift workshop for their tools, and created a secure entrance to the tunnel. In the dead of night, the team began their descent. Sammy led the way, using a pneumatic drill to break through the basement floor. The initial digging was slow and laborious, but as they progressed, they developed a rhythm and gradually picked up speed. Each night, they dug deeper and deeper into the earth, carefully removing the dirt and debris and disposing of it in a nearby river to avoid suspicion. The tunnel, though cramped and claustrophobic, slowly took shape. It was a painstaking process, but the team remained focused and determined. As they neared the bank, the tension grew palpable. They knew that they were entering the final and most dangerous phase of their operation. Any mistake now could trigger the bank's alarm systems, or worse, cause the tunnel to collapse. After weeks of digging, they finally reached the wall of the bank's vault. The team gathered around as Bertie prepared to set the charges. He carefully positioned the explosives and set the timer, ensuring that the blast would be powerful enough to breach the wall without causing a collapse. With bated breath, the team retreated to a safe distance and waited. The seconds ticked by, each one feeling like an eternity. Finally, there was a muffled explosion, followed by a cloud of dust and debris. The wall was breached. Mick quickly moved in, examining the opening and ensuring that it was safe to proceed. The team followed him into the vault, their hearts racing with anticipation. They had done it. They were inside. The vault was a treasure trove of riches. Stacks of cash, piles of jewelry, and rows of safety deposit boxes lined the walls. The team wasted no time, quickly setting to work on the safes and collecting as much loot as they could carry. Mick expertly cracked the safes, while Teggs and Sammy filled bags with cash and valuables. Leo kept a watchful eye on the time, knowing that they had to move quickly. They had planned for every contingency, but there was always the risk of something going wrong. As the team worked, Leo couldn't help but feel a sense of exhilaration. This was the moment he had dreamed of, the culmination of months of planning and preparation. They were on the brink of pulling off one of the most daring heists in history. With their bags full and the vault emptied, the team made their way back through the tunnel. They had practiced their escape route countless times, and they moved with the precision of a well-oiled machine. Emerging from the tunnel, they quickly covered their tracks and returned to the basement.